Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what time you're watching this, and welcome to a much late video of a Latter-day Saint and his dog. As you can probably see by the intro, I have managed to update my software. Videos are going to be edited and a little bit more slick than they have been before, and hopefully of a higher quality. One of the things that I've decided to do is I've decided to re-edit one of my more popular videos of Meet the Missionaries, and I've managed to correct sound problems that we had with the wind in the background. You still hear the wind in the background, but you can actually hear them talking now. And I've increased the volume, and it was barely audible before. So hopefully you will enjoy this. Um, I've had great fun in re-editing this as one of my first videos with my new software, and hopefully you will find it enjoyable as what I call was Meet the Missionaries, the director's cut.
Hello, and here today we have two missionaries, the best missionaries you could ever have in the entire world. They were my missionaries, and they helped me get prepared for my baptism last week. So first of all, I'll allow her to introduce herself. Sister.
I'm Sister Ward. I'm from Sacramento, California, and I've been on my mission for 18 months.
I'm Sister Sorensen. I'm from Lehi, Utah, and I've been on my mission for 16 months.
So what do you think of Illinois?
I like it. The winters are not my favorite. It's a little cold for me. The summers are a little humid, but the people are good. I like the people.
And who's your favourite missionary? Who's your favourite investigator you've met?
My favorite investigator, that would have to be David Parker Ross.
There we go.
David's not an investigator anymore, though.
No,
He's
I've been baptized.
Now he's a member.
Now,
Yeah.
I'm a Mormon. Okay, so why did you decide to become... well, first of all, tell me a little bit about your background. Were you converted yourselves, or were you born into the Church of Latter-day Saints?
Well, we were both born into the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, but we all have to have our own spiritual conversion. I think my conversion came just before I came on my mission, so I was 19 years old when I finally decided to kind of do some research and decide for myself if it was true.
Yeah, I think...
And did you decide it was true?
I did. I
Okay,
decided
just
it
want
was
to clarify
true.
that. You just said it to see if I decided if it was true.
Yep, it's true.
Just to make sure.
Sorry, carry on, Sister Ward.
For me, I was baptized when I was 8 years old, and my parents were members of the church for their lives. My mom converted a little bit older, but I think the thing that mostly contributed to my conversion was just the example of my family, and also I kind of had the same thing, except mine was in high school. I knew that I wanted to serve a mission, and so I decided that if I was going to serve a mission, I needed to pray and I needed to read my scriptures and find out if the things that I had been taught were true. And so I did a lot of praying and fasting, and I, like Sister Sorensen, came to the conclusion that the gospel of Jesus Christ was true and that it blessed me every day of my life.
You said you got baptized when you was 8 years old. Why 8 years old? I got baptized in the Church of England when I was 6 weeks old. So why did you wait till you were 8 years old?
That's a good question. Well, we are baptized in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints when we are of the age of accountability, which means that we are able to choose for ourselves to make a covenant with God, to follow His commandments, and to take upon ourselves the name of Jesus Christ. And we know through modern revelation or a prophet of God that the age of accountability is at least 8 years old, where a child can choose sufficiently between good and evil.
So I'll start with Sister Sorensen for this one. You've spoken for a little while. Why did you become a missionary?
I decided to become a missionary because I received a blessing from somebody, which is when they kind of give you counsel and direction. And I was told that I needed to serve a mission for the Lord and to help others to come under Christ. And when I got that counsel, I really prayed about it and thought about it and decided that I needed to come and share my testimony with others and help others to find joy.
So you weren't told to go. It was still a choice, though, wasn't it?
It was still a choice. I was given direction, but I still was able to choose.
Okay.
I decided to come on a mission because I had seen how the gospel or the teachings of Jesus Christ had affected my family. And I had seen that growing up in a home with righteous parents and with love and with the Spirit there really blessed me and shaped me to be the person that I am today. And so I wanted to be able to share that with other people and to help them understand what it is that makes Mormons so happy, or, at least for me in my house, what made us so happy, what made us have a perspective on life that was different from what other people had.
So why did you guys decide to come to Illinois, or did you not get the choice?
We don't get the choice on where we serve our missions. We put in an application and send it to the leader of our church, and then him and his helpers, they look at a map and decide where we need to be.
So if you could have chosen, where would you have really chosen? I know you're going to say Illinois because you don't upset all your new friends here. But other than Illinois, where would you have chosen to go to?
If I could have chosen where I wanted to serve my mission, I probably would have chosen somewhere southern, like I don't know. I think Tennessee would have been really fun. Somewhere where there's just a lot of like southern people, maybe like North Carolina or something. I'm not sure, but somewhere that has like good amount of land.
I'd have chosen either sort of like somewhere like Hawaii or the beaches of California, but you're probably used to the beaches of California.
I did think about Hawaii for a long time, speaking English, maybe serving in the visitor center, or at the temple there in Hawaii would have been really cool.
If I could have chosen, I would have wanted to go to Africa because my grandparents served a mission in Africa and they absolutely loved it. Or England would have been really cool as well.
Yeah, of course, England would be the best place to visit. So who actually does do the decision making on where you actually serve?
Well,
How does the process go?
We send in our application, which has some information about our health history, about our worthiness. We have to be living the commandments that we've been given in order to go on a mission. And we have a few interviews with our bishop and the leader of our congregation. He's called the stake president. He looks over a few different congregations in the area. And we send in this application to the president of the church, which would be the prophet. And at the time, it was President Monson, but he has since passed away, and now the prophet of the church is President Russell M. Nelson. And him and the Quorum of the 12 Apostles and the first presidency of the church look over these applications individually and pray and receive revelation as to where Heavenly Father needs us to serve.
So they go through thousands of these applications themselves? Because I understand there's about 4,000 serving missionaries at this moment.
Yeah.
Wow.
I would think definitely.
He must be a very busy man. So did you guys know each other when you first went out on your mission, or were you just thrown together and potluck whether you liked each other or not?
Yeah, we are not able to choose our companions or our partners. We are just put with somebody, and you're with them for as little as 6 weeks to up to about 6 months, and you learn to get along.
So when do you get to take a break from each other while you're on your missions?
Well, we stay together 24/7, except for when the other person is in the bathroom. And you really learn to love your companion, whether you get along or not, because you're with them every single day, all day long. So we stay within sight and sound of each other.
So what's the typical length of time you spend with a companion? For the whole mission, or do they change?
Typical would probably be about 12 weeks would be average, but you could be with them for as little as 6 weeks or really long time. It just depends on the revelation that our mission president gets.
So if you actually, when you go on your mission, if you find out that you're not happy or anything, Does the church stop you from going home, or if you wanted to go home, you can leave at any time, can you?
We can. It is entirely up to us. It's encouraged that if we can, we serve our full 18 months to 2 years. But for some people, missions are not for them. And so it's completely voluntary. It's service work. And so at any time, if we change our mind or we feel like we're just not supposed to be here, then we are able to choose to go home.
Because there's a lot of restrictions of what you can and can't do while you're on a mission, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Could you explain more about that, please? What sort of things?
Yeah, as missionaries, we have a lot of rules that we abide by, and some of them include we don't go swimming, and we're always with another missionary.
Yeah, we get up at 6:30 a.m. and we have certain time allotments for certain activities that we do throughout the day, such as meal times. We have 30 minutes for lunch and an hour for dinner every day. We have an hour of personal study time, and then we have time that we study together as a companionship as well. We have a curfew of 9 p.m., and these guidelines are, a lot of them are on the honor system because there's not going to be someone following you around every moment of the day. But I've learned that it really is for your safety, and it probably wouldn't be super safe for two young girls such as us walking around in dresses at 10 o'clock at night. And so I've found that as we're obedient to the guidelines that we've been given, we're able to be spiritually and physically safe.
But it's okay, because at that time you can just sit back and watch TV or play some music, right?
Well, as missionaries, we're set apart, and we're set apart from the world, so we don't watch TV or listen to music. We read our scriptures and church magazines, and that's about it.
Okay. So when you actually go up to someone's front door, what is your usual expectations? What sort of greetings do you normally get?
You want to do a role play?
Sure.
All right. So
Okay, go for it.
we're going to pretend that I'm the missionary, and I just...
You're going to pretend you're a missionary?
Yes. I have just knocked on her door, so...
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you so much. Well, sorry to bother you. Is now a good time? We could talk to you for a few minutes.
Maybe like 2 minutes. I'm really busy.
Okay, yeah, no worries. This is my companion, Sister Sorensen, and I'm Sister Ward. And we are in the neighborhood. We're sharing a message about the gospel of Jesus Christ. Have you ever heard of the gospel of Jesus Christ before?
Yes, I'm Christian.
Okay, that's great. What denomination do you attend?
I go to a non-denominational church, the Faith Center, down the road.
Oh, the Faith Center. Is that on Larkin?
Mhm.
Okay. I think we've passed by there a few times.
Yep, that's where I go.
Cool. Well, that's really great. Well, do you read from the Bible often, or
No.
not really? Okay. Are you very familiar with the teachings in the Bible?
Somewhat. I mean, I know that Jesus Christ is in the Bible, and he taught there.
Yeah. Well, my companion and I, we are sharing a message about a book called the Book of Mormon. Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah, I've heard of it, but I've heard that you're not supposed to add to the Bible, so I don't believe in that.
Okay. Well, we're actually just talking about how reading the Bible and the Book of Mormon together help people to strengthen their relationship in Jesus Christ. And we would love to present a 10 or 15 minute message to you about where the Book of Mormon came from and what really is inside. And I love the first picture in here is a picture of Jesus Christ, because the book is centered in him. And as we read the Book of Mormon, we're able to strengthen our testimony of Jesus Christ as the Savior and Redeemer of the world. And as I've read this book personally, I've come to know the truthfulness of it, because I know that it teaches of Jesus Christ, and it helps us to understand better his doctrine and his ministry. So we'd love to come in and share this with you, or if now's not a good time, we could come back a little bit later tonight or another day.
Yeah, maybe another day, girls.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Oh, that was interesting. That's very friendly. My own personal experience, I happen to have a couple of missionary gentlemen moving opposite me, so they never formally approached me. I just got talking to them generally as part of my chatting with my neighbours.
I was going to do a mean one, but I decided not to.
We decided to be
I was
nice
gonna be like,
today.
get away!
Walk away crying.
You know, I'm keeping that bit in. Okay, go ahead.
Well, we meet a lot of really nice people as we're knocking on doors, talking to people on the streets, but sometimes we do meet people who are not so friendly. I think for me, the worst experience I've had was, it was one night, it was in the summer, and I was serving in Elgin, Illinois. My companion and I, we were knocking on a few doors, and there was this one house where we came up to, and there was a screen door, and then there was a porch, and then there was a door to the house. And we weren't quite sure if we were okay to like go through the screen door onto the porch or not, so we knocked on the side of the screen door, and nothing happened, nobody came, so we thought, well, okay, we'll just go knock on the door, that leads to the house. And so we knock on this door, and this woman comes out, and she was not very happy. She started yelling at us and screaming, and she told us, I will not have Satan here, leave my house right now. And she was just screaming and yelling, and she started yelling profanities at us and calling us horrible names. And so we got out of there pretty quickly, and it was late at night. It was probably like 8:15, and so the sun had gone down, and we ran away and decided not to go back to that street. She kind of scared us.
How about you, Sister Sultan?
I think my saddest experience was I was a pretty new missionary. I had only been out maybe a month or two, and we approached this man, and he told us that he thought that we were so horrible, that we were of the devil, and that we were going to go to hell, and that he was the one that was going to be sending us there. He said that because he was a reverend, that he was going to be sending us to hell, and me and my companion just kind of
That sounded threatening.
Yeah.
That sounded like an actual threat, that does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was kind of sad.
It's horrible. You know, people just can't be pleasant. And they call themselves Christians themselves.
Yeah. But we just said, okay, well, thank you very much, and walked away.
So what's the funniest experience you've ever had while doing missionary work?
I think my funniest experience would have to be me and my companion were taking care of some members' cats while they were out of town, and we had a key to their home, and we forgot to tell them what time we were going, so they didn't turn their alarm off. And so when we unlocked the door, the alarm went off, and we put in the code to make it stop, and we fed the cats, and we were doing some stuff around the house, and all of a sudden the doors barged open, and there were about 4 or 5 policemen that had their guns pointed at us, and they were yelling at us, and they ended up questioning us what we were doing, and it was pretty funny.
I bet you didn't think it was funny with guns stuck in your head at the time.
Yeah, once the guns got put away,
Funny
that was
afterwards.
funny, yeah.
There was this one time where my companion and I were talking to this lady in her front yard, and she had like 7 kids, and they were riding their bikes around us in circles. And so we were talking to this lady about the Book of Mormon, just kind of sharing a few passages. And we had finished our conversation, and what we didn't realize was that the kids had gone in the house. And so my companion turned around to walk away, and so I took a step back to turn and walk away as well. And the kids had left their bikes right behind me, and I didn't see them, and so I stepped back right onto a bike, and I fell completely backwards. I fell into like a big mud puddle, and I was wearing like a white and gray dress, and so that was really fun. I had mud all over me, and I just fell right in front of this lady.
Oh, did you get any photographs?
No photographs.
Okay, so there's a lot of myths about Mormons that you can look up. As you look up on the internet, you hear a lot of these stories. So I'm going to ask you some questions of, is it true?
Okay.
Is it true you worship Joseph Smith?
We do not worship Joseph Smith. We're very grateful for him and his example, but we worship...
Can you explain who he was then?
Oh, yeah. Joseph Smith is a prophet of God. He was the first prophet that was called for this time period, and we owe a lot to him for the translation of the Book of Mormon and a lot of other things, but we worship Jesus Christ.
So he's not an infallible. He's not like the Pope. He wasn't infallible. And
No, we actually don't believe that any of the prophets are infallible. They're all humans, and God calls imperfect people to spread His gospel and to do His work on here.
where do you keep the dead bodies for baptism of the dead?
That's actually funny. We get this question quite often, I would say. So when we do baptisms for the dead, we actually stand in their behalf and do them by proxy. And so there's no dead bodies involved. It would simply be myself standing in a baptismal font for one of my great-grandparents, maybe my great-great-grandmother. And I would be baptized in her name. And so it would just be an opportunity for me to stand in on her behalf. So there's no dead bodies associated with baptism for the dead.
Why doesn't the Mormon Church allow black people in the church?
We have a lot of colored people.
This is a question that I've seen a lot. It claims that black people aren't allowed to be in the church.
I can't imagine going to like a Mormon church in Africa or going to a Mormon church down in maybe Georgia or some place like Atlanta where it's predominantly colored. Yeah.
So what you're saying is
It's not true.
No.
and there's no discrimination on race within the church.
Anybody of any color can hold any calling and can do just about, well, they can do anything.
Okay.
They can do just about anything.
Yeah.
Okay. Men can have more than one wife in the Mormon Church.
What?
That's crazy.
That's what I'm just saying. This is what you read on the. This is questions people ask and what people believe in the Mormon Church.
Yeah.
It's true.
That's funny because people totally ask us. They're like, "So how many moms do you have?" And I'm like, "Well, I have one mom. I have one dad. So actually, in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, men are married to one wife, and that's it. There is another denomination of church that's a branch off of the Mormons, and I know people get us confused a lot with them, but in our church, you would actually be excommunicated if you were to try to have more than one wife."
Okay. What if you do it now?
Oh.
Okay. Sister Ward, you're coming to the end of your mission. Right, you're leaving in 2 days. How do you feel?
I think I'm having mixed emotions. I'm really excited to go home and see my family and be able to get on with the next chapter of my life. But I'm also really sad because I've met so many amazing people on my mission, and just having to be away from them is probably going to be hard. I've adopted a lot of people as my family. We've got Uncle David over here. So I think it's just going to be really sad not to be a missionary anymore, but at the same time I'm really happy to go back to my family and be able to start the next chapter of life.
You two going to miss each other?
Yeah.
Probably not. Just kidding.
I'll miss her. She won't miss me.
No, I'll email her.
So, I just want to give people an idea that you are actually just ordinary 20-year-old girls. So, give us a bit about your interest. Like, what's your favourite movie?
Oh, that's a good question.
I love movies.
If you could have one movie on a desert island, and you could only have one movie, what movie would it be?
Oh, have you ever seen the movie Castaway?
Yes.
I love Castaway. I used to watch it when I was a little kid all the time.
Willis!
No,
Willis!
it's
Wilson.
Yeah,
Wilson,
I would
you're
be
right.
sitting there on the couch. Wilson. Yeah, I love that.
Okay. So you're a big Tom Hanks fan, are you?
Yeah,
Okay.
I like him.
And Sister Sorensen, your favourite movie?
My favorite movie is probably A Walk to Remember. Oh,
I don't know that one.
Nicholas Sparks.
It's a romance.
Or A River Runs Through It.
Okay. I've only ever read one Nicholas Sparks book. That was because it was the only book I could find while I was in hospital.
What one was it?
The one about a wedding. I can't remember the name of it. Okay. I'll look it up. Sorry. So, what's your favourite takeout food?
Sushi.
Sushi?
my mom and I, after I got done with my classes for the day, my mom and I would order sushi to go to like a Japanese restaurant by my house. And so I'd go pick it up, come home, my mom and I would eat sushi. It was nice.
I just honestly really like food, but there's a little place called Porter's Place. It's after Porter Rockwell, who was Brigham Young's bodyguard. But there's a restaurant after him in Lehigh, and it's really good. We get takeout first.
What's your favourite music?
I love country music. That's my favorite for sure.
My favorite is probably 80s or country.
I heard, in fact, a little bird told me that you actually like
Eminem?
Eminem.
I love Eminem.
This is what you
so
wouldn't
talented.
imagine a good little missionary listening to.
He's so talented, though. It's crazy. But yeah, I love him.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, what's your idea of a fun day out?
Ooh.
Hiking in the mountains, and then going to get dinner, and then watching a movie.
Alright. I was gonna say probably like a nature walk down by the river. Maybe hanging out in a hammock, reading a good book. That's always a good way to spend an afternoon. If it's not too hot outside, or else I'd be by the pool.
Because you're from California, it's always hot outside, isn't it?
No, it's not always hot outside. You get some good 75-degree weather with a slight breeze. It's the best.
What's it like in Utah?
Utah is beautiful. I love it. The weather's good. It gets really cold in the winter and really hot in the summer. But
And there's
it's
lots of
beautiful.
mountains.
Mountains everywhere. And I live in the valley, so no matter where you turn, there's mountains.
Can you say mountains?
Mountains.
I think she means mountains.
There's a T in it.
And an N.
Utah people don't say mountains.
Utah's people.
You ask. You're from Utah.
It's mountains.
Salt Lake City. Utah.
Okay. Anyways.
Okay. So what's the best? I've just been baptised, okay, as you know, only a week ago. What's the best advice you could leave me with to end this video?
The best advice that I could give David is...
Or anyone who's just getting baptised or just being
Or anyone?
baptised.
Okay,
Yeah.
or anyone who has just been baptized or is learning about the church and considering joining. I would say to make a consistent habit of prayer and scripture study every day. Because I know that that's something that has really shaped my testimony of the gospel and really helped me to come closer to Jesus Christ is just by learning of him in the scriptures and having that one-on-one relationship with God as I pray. Just making sure that that's one of your first priorities every day. And I know that as I've made it mine, I've seen a lot of changes in myself and I've seen my faith built a lot on my mission from that.
Mine would be to remember that people are human and they make mistakes and they say things that they don't mean. And so no matter what happens, don't let anybody hinder your salvation. Don't let anybody hinder you from going to church or, just don't take offense to people. And if they do say something that is inappropriate, to ignore them and work on yourself, work on your salvation.